The New England Patriots just flipped the script. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the Daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do, subscribe, notification bell. And guys and gals, hit that like button. Come on, helps me out a ton. Appreciate every single one of you. Today on the episode, a lot of crazy changes yesterday, but also today that we got to jump into. A lot of them. And the main one isn't even the Mamma Mia story. And you're like, what the heck does he mean by that? You know what I mean by that. As well, we talk practice squad at the end of the episode, so don't miss out on that. First and foremost, Charles Woods, not Charlie Woods, son to Tiger Woods. That'd be wild if he was playing cornerback for the New England Patriots now. Not only a great golfer, a great DB as well. Charles Woods picked up by the Patriots. He was released at the time, or yesterday, from the Rams as they were making cuts down to their 53-man roster. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a huge flip. We went from 8 wide receivers, whittled down to 6. Remember, a lot of us talked 6 to 7. 6 to 7 wide receivers were going to be on this team. Hey, there are 6 right now. So us saying that, we're right. That's the first thing. And then I couldn't find the comment, but someone said, listen, we're looking a little thin at cornerback. We should bolster the cornerback room, at least add one more guy. Whoever that was, comment below. I'm so sorry. I'll add you in the next episode. But I was looking, could not find it. But Charles Woods, big pickup. But what's even better about this, again, flipping the script where we go heavy depth in wide receiver to a solid depth in cornerback. Again, let's not forget, Carlton Davis has not finished a season. Christian Gonzalez, though he is an all-pro, we've had some injury issues. So it's smart that we look at this. Now, Woods is more of a slot type of guy. So obviously Marcus Jones is that slot corner, that nickel corner for us. But when it comes down to it, it's solid that we have depth there because we have James and Austin are more of those perimeter type cornerbacks, where Woods, Jones, more of that slot type cornerback. So that's huge. But also too, and we're going to get into this in a second, but Javon Baker, gone. See ya later. Not even on the practice squad. But a big thing everyone was saying about him, praising him for, was his special teams. And again, I conceded that. I said, yeah, he contributed on special teams. He has something to show, and that's great. And he can be a depth wide receiver, sure. But the Patriots said, no, we're gonna take a 180. We're gonna flip this around. We're gonna flip the script, and we're gonna instead of doing that for wide receiver, we're gonna get a cornerback. As you see right here, last year played in 12 games for the Rams. 169 snaps on what? Special teams. So again, you're already adding value of a guy who's played special teams, has done well on special teams. And granted, am I saying he's the best slot corner in the league? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this. At wide receiver right now, they have the players they want. They feel like they have solid depth. They got some young talent in there. They got some veteran talent in there. Hey, what's a position that we feel a little more vulnerable in? And that's cornerback. Hey, let's bring in a guy that can also add value to special teams. Boom. Boom. We once thought that was Javon Baker at the wide receiver position, but also contributing on special teams. Not anymore. Not anymore. Charles Woods. So again, comment below. Tell me what you think about this pickup. Excited for it. I think it's middle of the road. What are your thoughts? But again, I think it is a smart move by the Patriots. Javon Baker, another player from that 2024 class, that is gone. He didn't even make the practice squad. We'll get to that in a second. But Woods, what are your thoughts on him? Would love to hear from you guys. Next up, we look at your boy, Tommy DeVito. What in the world? DeVito. Mamma Mia. Originally, my thumbnail was going to have him saying Mamma Mia. I almost did it, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I don't know. Maybe I'll show you guys someday, but it's really funny. Anyways, I have to give credit to Connor and Quentin on saying, hey, bring in Tommy DeVito. He should be the third guy. I said, hey, they'll probably find a quarterback, throw him on the practice squad, have to elevate him if need be. But again, you can never be too safe. Throwing a guy on there that has experience. DeVito, his career will be as a backup. You can never be too safe. Throw him on there. If worse goes to worse, you can throw him in. Obviously, he can dress as that emergency quarterback. And so it's not a bad move. It's not a bad move. Mike Vrabel even said, listen, we want to add value to a premier position. I get it. You gotta play it smart. You never know. You never know. So Tommy DeVito, Patriots, he's bringing that Italian flair. What are your thoughts? Again, I'm not saying this man's going to be a starting quarterback. No, but I do think it is a smart move for the Patriots. Now, again, you're like, well, okay, timeout, Aaron. We have Charles Woods, Tommy DeVito. How in the world did we free up space? Well, I'm going to jump into that. So, but comment below. Tell me what you think about old Tommy right here. But right here, Javon Baker. And I didn't even put it on here, but Kendrick Bourne also gone. Kendrick Bourne, I'll start with him. Kendrick Bourne asking to be released. He was released. Apparently, there was trade talks between the Vikings and the Patriots. They didn't amount to anything. And then what ended up happening was the Panthers and the Vikings ended up cutting a deal to get Adam Thielen back in Minnesota. You know, the whole situation with Jordan Addison. So again, they need a wide receiver there. So crazy. But now the rumor is Kendrick Bourne is most likely going to get picked up by the 49ers. So again, I hope the best for Kendrick Bourne. I truly do. And you know, the wide receiver room in San Francisco has been drama would be putting it lightly. It just seems very intense over there. Not ideal, but I wish him the best. Hopefully he's a veteran presence over there that can really bolster that culture back to where it could be. But again, he is off the team, so that made an open spot for one person. And then Javon Baker, though he made the 53-man roster, they literally flipped the script on us, said, not so fast. Not so fast as Lee Corso going into his last game day this year. I don't know why that came to my mind, but that's what he says all the time. Not so fast. They dropped him. Granted, sure, when he clears waivers, they could technically pick him up, drop someone off the practice squad. That's very possible. I'm not saying it can't happen. But John Giles and Jeremiah Webb are both on the practice squad, which we'll jump into a minute. But again, crazy moves. Did not expect this. You're cemented with one way of thinking, and then you got to uproot it and then look at hey, this is now the direction we're going. Again, I think it's smart on the Patriots organization, bringing in another cornerback, trusting in these wide receivers. A lot of talent there, a lot of potential there. But you need depth at a cornerback position where there's been injury concerns. We have to be honest. So again, I think that's a smart move, bringing in Woods, bringing in DeVito. Very smart insurance policies, in especially Woods being able to play special teams. And then Baker, we appreciate you. Maybe practice squad. We'll see down the road. And then we look at Kendrick Bourne. Best of luck to him, whatever he might do. So tell me your thoughts. A lot has happened. Whether it's Tommy DeVito, whether it's Charles Woods, Javon Baker, Kendrick Bourne, what are your thoughts? Comment below. What surprised you the most today after the 53-man roster cuts? What are your thoughts, your initial cuts? Right here, we jump into the practice squad. I think nothing really should surprise anyone. The one thing is they have Alec Lindstrom as a cornerback. He moved from interior offensive line to cornerback, apparently. Imagine that, a man who's probably 6'3", 300 pounds playing cornerback. I know that was just an error on their part, but regardless, a lot of names that I think a lot of people are glad to see. Terrell Jennings was on the squad last year. C.J. Dupree, the Alabama tight end, Jack Conley, the Boston College guard, who technically was taking reps at at tackle. G. Scott, the Ohio State tight end, that for a while a lot of people were very high on. Swinson, edge rusher, that again, outside linebacker, a lot of people were high on, but I've seen a variety of things that said like his attitude was not in the best position. And then I think two I really like. I do really like John Giles. I did a big video on him last year. Really like him. Crazy athletic wide receiver. Big guy. And then Jeremiah Webb. He caught that touchdown in the corner end zone from Woldridge. I think he has potential, and he has potential in the return game as well. Good to stash him on the practice squad. Notice Wooldridge is not on the team. Not a fit. Not a fit for this organization. Again, Tommy DeVito, throw him in third string. Maybe get a little press. Maybe he does the whole thing, and you see his agent on the sideline. I don't know if they let him on the sideline if you're the third string quarterback, but just funny. I don't think he'll bring his parade and all that fun stuff, but it's just crazy to think. So, anyways, what are your thoughts? Patriots flipping the script, going from a wide receiver deep 53-man roster from going from 8 now down to 6 with Bourne and Baker departing, and then adding a cornerback and adding a third string quarterback. What are your thoughts? Again, I think they're smart move, insurance policies by the Patriots, as well as Woods being able to play special teams, which should be big for him and this organization. So what are your thoughts? I will say one other note I want to add. I was surprised, and I need to look this up because, again, I had a busy day today. But I want to see where Romo ended up as a kicker, where he ended up. Because, again, I thought they would potentially stash him on the practice squad as well. But I'm assuming he landed on his feet and I know there was teams who needed kickers. And, again, he didn't do bad for I think some people in the comments said, listen, Aaron, I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't get the job in Borgalis. He wasn't put on the practice squad. But I think that's the kind of catch-22 is you keep Romo, you put Borgalis on the practice squad. The thing is, I don't know. I don't think Borgalis is clearing the waivers. I think someone's picking him up. Again, there's teams that need kickers. He was a guy who was drafted. A lot of people argued he was the best kicker in the draft. Ben Saul, who was the guy from Pitt, was another guy that was pretty solid. I don't know where he ended up landing. But again, I think in the long run, we'll look back at this and say the Patriots made the right decision. So comment below, whatever the heck you want to talk about. Been trying to comment on every single person's comment as best I can. So, hey, join in the fun. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. There we go. And hit the like button on your way out. We'll talk later. Peace.